The world of drones has never stood still. Every year brings a wave of upgrades, new ideas, and fresh competition. But 2025 feels different. This year, we've seen something that isn't just another incremental step. It's a leap. DJI, the brand that has shaped the drone industry for more than a decade, has introduced the Neo 2, and it is already rewriting the rules. At first glance, it looks small. It looks simple. But don't let the size fool you. The Neo 2 is not just a minor refresh. It's a bold redesign. A reinvention of what a pocket-sized drone can be. For years, mini drones were treated as toys. Fun for a weekend, fine for beginners, but never a serious choice for creators. That wall between small and powerful has finally come down. The Neo 2 is proof that size no longer defines potential. From toy to tool. To understand the shift, you need to remember how compact drones were seen in the past. They were light. They were cheap. And they were limited. If you wanted cinematic footage, if you wanted stability, if you wanted reliability, you had to step up to the heavier, more expensive drones. That meant carrying more weight, spending more money, and sometimes scaring people around you with loud, buzzing machines. The original DJI Neo was a step forward, but it still carried that image of being just a starter drone. It could fly. It could record. But it wasn't something professionals would reach for. That perception changes here. The Neo 2 doesn't just fill a gap in the market. It erases the gap entirely. Months before its release, the drone community was already buzzing. Certification documents hinted at new battery designs. Leaked images showed hints of new sensors. Enthusiasts argued online about whether DJI would add frame rate upgrades or even first-person view support. And as always, speculation went wild. But speculation is one thing, reality is another. And now, with the Neo 2 in real hands, we can finally see how ambitious DJI's vision really is. Longer flight, greater freedom. One of the first breakthroughs is flight time. For years, short battery life has been the curse of small drones. The original Neo carried a 10.4 Wh battery. Enough for quick flights, but not enough to truly relax. Every takeoff felt like a countdown. You'd be watching the percentage tick down instead of focusing on creativity. The Neo 2 changes this story. It carries an 11.6 Wh battery. On paper, that looks like a small bump. But in the air, it's a big leap. In real-world conditions, pilots are reporting flight times that stretch beyond 20 minutes. For a drone of this size, that's remarkable. Think about what those extra minutes mean. A sunrise time-lapse where the light shifts slowly. A cinematic tracking shot that requires patience. A sweeping reveal of a city skyline at dusk. With the Neo 2, you don't feel rushed. You can plan, adjust, and capture the moment properly. And this change isn't just technical. It's emotional. Pilots, especially beginners, often feel anxious about running out of power mid-flight. That constant fear can turn joy into stress. By adding meaningful minutes, DJI has given pilots freedom. Freedom to explore. Freedom to experiment. Freedom to create without glancing nervously at the battery icon every few seconds. Confidence changes everything. With more time in the air, flying feels less like a race against the clock and more like a creative flow. And that shift in feeling may be just as important as the extra minutes themselves. Smarter eyes, safer flights. Power without safety is useless. The original Neo had a single forward sensor. It could detect what was right in front of it, but that was it. Fly too close to a tree at an angle, drift near a pole, or misjudge a tight alleyway, and the result was often a crash. Beginners paid the price with broken props or worse. The Neo 2 fixes this weakness with a much smarter vision positioning system. It doesn't just look forward. It sees more. It understands its environment better. It detects obstacles with greater accuracy and responds faster when danger appears. For the pilot, this means fewer accidents. It means fewer expensive repairs. It means more confidence to try bold moves. Flying through tight spaces feels smoother. Tracking a cyclist through a busy street feels safer. Even experienced pilots notice the difference. What's impressive is how natural this safety feels. DJI has designed it to stay in the background. The drone doesn't nag or interrupt unless it really needs to. Instead, it acts like a quiet partner, always watching, always ready, but never in the way. That balance is what makes flying the Neo 2 such a comfortable experience. A camera that lifts expectations. And then there's the camera. Because no matter how smart or safe a drone is, it all comes down to the footage. The Neo 2 carries a sensor that is far more capable than its size suggests. Rumors say it uses a 1/3-inch CMOS sensor with dual ISO support. That technical detail translates to one simple thing: better performance in tricky lighting. For creators, this is a game changer. Shooting at sunrise, at sunset, or even at night has always been tough for small drones. Grain, noise, washed-out colors, these were the common problems. The Neo 2 fights those problems directly. It captures city lights with clarity. It reveals mountain peaks under morning mist. It reflects neon lights on wet streets with sharp detail. But it doesn't stop there. The video specs climb even higher. Support for 4K at 60 frames per second. Support for 10-bit D-Log color profiles. This is the kind of setup that gives editors freedom. Freedom to push colors. To balance highlights and shadows. To give footage a cinematic tone that rivals larger, heavier, professional drones. On top of this, the Neo 2 brings advanced subject tracking. Lock onto a runner. A cyclist. A skateboarder. The drone doesn't just follow, it keeps the subject framed with precision while maintaining buttery smooth footage. Suddenly, what used to be impossible with a pocket drone now feels effortless. For a vlogger, a travel creator, or even a filmmaker, this camera system is the jewel of the Neo 2. It transforms it from a weekend toy into a serious creative tool. Portability without compromise. Of course, one of the main reasons people buy small drones is portability. The Neo 2 delivers that in full. It's still compact. Still light. Still small enough to slip into a backpack or even a large pocket. But unlike many other compact drones, it doesn't ask you to sacrifice performance. This is the rare balance, size without compromise. For travelers, it's a dream. Imagine hiking up a trail with only a small bag and still being able to capture cinematic shots at the top. Imagine documenting a city trip without carrying heavy gear. Imagine being able to film anywhere, at any time, because setup is quick and the drone doesn't draw too much attention. And that's another underrated advantage. Large drones can feel intimidating in public spaces. They attract attention. They can even make people uncomfortable. The Neo 2 avoids that problem. It's discreet. It's quiet. It lets creators capture moments naturally, without breaking the flow of the environment. For vloggers and influencers, this matters a lot. Pulling out a huge drone in a crowded area can feel awkward. With the Neo 2, creativity feels spontaneous. Natural. Easy. Value that redefines the market. Here's where DJI surprises again: the price. The original Neo was about $289. Affordable, yes. But the Neo 2, despite its leap in performance, is expected to launch under $350. Think about that for a moment. For less than the price of many smartphones, you get longer flight times, smarter sensors, improved imaging, and cinematic shooting modes. This isn't just competitive. It's disruptive. Because price shapes perception. When people hear professional drone, they expect a $1,000 price tag. When they hear beginner drone, they expect something cheap but limited. The Neo 2 breaks both assumptions. It's affordable, but it doesn't feel limited. It's powerful, but it doesn't feel overpriced. Students, beginners, hobbyists, and even professionals looking for a compact option can justify this purchase. And that means DJI isn't just selling a product. They're opening the door for a much wider audience to step into aerial creativity. Timing that inspires creativity. Even the launch schedule shows strategy. Pre-orders begin in August 2025, with shipping in September. That timing is no accident. Autumn is one of the most cinematic seasons of the year. Golden leaves. Misty mornings. Soft evening light. A natural playground for photographers and filmmakers. DJI knows this. They are placing the Neo 2 in creators' hands at exactly the moment when nature itself provides the best backdrop. For new pilots, this timing adds inspiration. The season matches the product's purpose, creativity in motion. Buyers also get options. A standard kit with the essentials. Or a Fly More combo with extra batteries, spare props, and a charging hub. For those who plan longer sessions, the bundle is a clear choice. And DJI knows that once you taste the freedom of longer flights, those extras become irresistible. The rumor of FPV. And then there's the most exciting rumor, first-person view support. Some whispers suggest that DJI may include a mini FPV headset for the Neo 2. Not the bulky goggles used for professional FPV rigs. Something lighter. Something simple. Something designed for casual users. If this rumor is true, it could transform the way beginners experience flight. Instead of watching on a phone screen, they could see directly through the drone's eyes in real time. That's immersive. That's thrilling. That's the kind of feature that doesn't just add value, it adds excitement. Suddenly, the Neo 2 wouldn't just be a camera drone. It would also be a gateway into FPV flying. And for many pilots,